Welcome, Knicks Nation. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I hope you enjoyed your holiday week with your family. I hope everybody's safe and healthy after this weekend, this holiday, and that you and the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, and especially health are being met today. Welcome again on Sunday. This is the day the Knicks are going to be playing the Toronto Raptors at 6 o'clock Eastern Time today. Welcome, Superstar, Nigo Store. I hope, they're ready for sure. We're going to talk about that. The only DM Dawson, Corey Lindsay, what's up? Scientific, Malik Shabazz, Grand Rising, my brother, Senior Beef, John Pettit, M. Drake. Welcome to all of you. We are getting ready. Kobar Dobbins, what's up, my brother? So the Knicks had a test, the real first test. I mean, it was good that they played Brooklyn and then Charlotte with the new lineup first. And then they got their first real test on Friday against the Bucks. And that was a good test for the Knicks. And of course, they came out victorious, beating the Bucks 118-109. John Pettit, what's up? Clint Stewart, welcome. Michael Surratt, Jermaine Royster, Mr. William, 1072, Tony Bell, Stephen Kelly, my brother, what's up? And so, yes, they really played well. The thing about the Bucks game that was significant to me is that Giannis had missed 4 games, which they lost all 4. And the 2 games prior to that, because he was hurt, they lost those 2. But he came back healthy Friday. And when you're dealing with a team that had lost 6 straight, that is as talented as the Bucks are, they are desperate for a win. They're going to be playing you with playoff intensity. And that's what happened Friday. The Bucks were coming at the Knicks with playoff intensity because they were desperate for a win. And the thing is that, again, on any given night, any team can beat any other team in the NBA. But when you have a team with a Giannis Antetokounmpo and he's healthy and they're desperate for a win, you can expect a full blown effort at you. And the Knicks got that. That guy Green, AJ Green, he really, he took 12 shots. All of his shots were 3-pointers. And I'm listening to, as I was rewatching the game, I'm listening to the announcers for Prime. And one guy, I think it was Stan Van Gundy, was saying he is surprised every time Green misses a shot because he hardly misses a shot. The cat was on point, Friday night. And so the Knicks were able to withstand that. Giannis, 30 points, 15 boards, 8 assists. Giannis was Giannis. And then Turner, he was all right. And Gary Trent Jr., no, not really much effective. But AJ Green, Ryan Rollins, Giannis, Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, they really came to try to get this win. And so it was a good win for the Knicks, withstanding a desperate team. And the Knicks really seemed to be in control the whole game. They really did. They seemed to be in control the entire game, which really is, to me, very important with the new lineup. So the next, right now, as we're sitting right now, the Knicks last 10, they're 7-3. In 18 games, they're 12-6. They're tops in the Eastern Conference in differential at 6.7. They allow 114 points per game, which is 4th best in the East. They score 121 points a game, which is 2nd in the East. If they can beat Toronto today, they will have possession of second spot in the East. And so, it's a big game, another good test for the Knicks. So it's very important. So that's why Richard Baptiste, that's a BS question for BSX, not for this channel today. We don't care about how many teams they beat above 500. They play who's on the schedule, period. We don't worry about how many of them are above or below 500. This is the league. Stop acting like this is college. This ain't NC2A. This is the league. So stop, please. with the BS questions from the opening tip. Somebody already jumping on the third rail. This we don't how many teams they beat above 500. What the hell we care? Who's on the damn schedule? That's who we gotta play. Shoot, he gonna come out the how many about 500? Who gives a crap? Ask somebody on Twitter that crap. Ask Donald Trump. Don't come in here with that. Shoot. Already, man. Can't even get 5 minutes into the damn thing and dude already coming with this BS. Anyway, the Knicks now play Toronto today. Period. Yeah, take a damn two-step back, please. How many teams above 500? You listening to too many BS artists, man. Stop it. Shoot. Anyway, where was I? So, with the new lineup, a couple things. Number one, let's talk about very important news that came out this week. Very important, big news that came out this week. Shamet is going to be reevaluated in 4 weeks. That was extremely important news. As I mentioned, when you all saw the play, right? It looked like a dislocated shoulder. Now, there's been a lot of guys in the league over time that have had shoulders that sometimes pop out. I mean, sometimes it's just there's dudes that do that. There's sometimes dudes that do that, and I think Shamet is going to be one of those guys that sometimes the shoulder's just going to pop out. It has happened. I think it was there was a pair of forwards that used to play back in the day for the Indiana Pacers, and both of them had that big shoulder, but they would pop out once in a while. So the good news, I expected 6 to 8 weeks, minimum for Shamet. Yeah, the Davis boy. Thank you, Beast Bostino, Mr. Williams. That's right. Both the Davis boys, Dale Davis and the other Antonio Davis. If y'all remember, they shoulders used to pop out once in a while, and they had to put it back in place, rest a little bit, and come back. I think that's what we're dealing with Shamet. The good news is that he will be back. I'm thinking we'll probably see him play again Martin Luther King Day because you got to give him time to get back in the flow. But to reevaluate him in 4 weeks brings us to the end of December. Right? So, yeah, it was the Davis boys. Y'all are right. Good call on that. It was the Davis boy. But they used to do that. Shoulders be popping out all the time. Antonio and Dale. But, they played a long time. Both of them played at a high level. Both of them. Just something you got to deal with. Okay? But Shamet will probably be reevaluated about a week after Christmas, right? And then we could expect another couple weeks of conditioning and shooting. So I'm thinking the matinee game is usually Martin Luther King Day. It's usually a matinee game. I think he'll be back for that game. I'm looking for him to be back for that game. So that is extremely good news, as Shamet is going to be a very important piece in this championship run. Very important piece. I hated the narrative that he barely made the team, and that was always BS from the beginning. Shamet was going to be on this squad unless he got hurt. Shamet was going to be in the rotation, and as you saw, very important piece in the rotation. So that's big news. Now, second piece is Josh Hart has been playing his tail off. Josh Hart's been playing his tail. OG is going to be reevaluated this week. Starting today, Corey, actually. This is the 2-week point. So OG is going to be evaluated today. Let me see. I'm looking at the Knicks injury report. And I think they just still has him as being evaluated. Let me see here. Yeah, evaluated in 2 weeks from November 16th. So that's today. So again, I'm not expecting. I'm hoping we can get OG back by the end of this week. So I'm hoping we can get him back then, but we'll see. I'm not in a hurry. We don't need to rush OG back because the Knicks are playing so well. Not that we don't need. Obviously, we need OG, but I'm hoping if we can get him back for Charlotte on Wednesday or for Utah on Friday. I think those are, and both of those games are at home. So I'm hoping we can get him back. Either Charlotte on Wednesday or Utah on Friday. Again, if his if his hamstring is healed, you still got to give him time to ramp up, get himself together, get his shot back, get his timing back. And so I'm hoping Friday, it's a home game. The next, at least 2 games, we play Boston at Boston. When is that? Tuesday? I think we play Boston at Boston Tuesday. And then that's part of a back-to-back. We're back at home against Charlotte Wednesday. And then there's at home again against Utah on Friday. So I'm hoping we can get OG back in that Friday game or maybe that Wednesday game. But one thing, with the way Hart has been playing, as much as I'd want to see Deuce continue to be in the starting lineup, I get a feeling Hart is going to be in the starting lineup. It's going to be JB and Hart with Mikal, OG, and Cat. I think that's going to be your starting lineup. Hart has been playing his butt off, man. So has Deuce, but I just think you're going to get Hart in there because of how well he has been playing. He has been really performing at a high level, rebounding the basketball. He was guarding Giannis a lot, on Friday. He was guarding Giannis a lot on Friday. I saw the replay of that game last night. He was guarding Giannis a lot. And so when he could guard Giannis away from the basket, obviously, close to the basket, Giannis would, dunk on him. But he was really holding his own against Giannis. So he had 19 points, 15 boards the other day, 7 assists. I mean, 3 steals. What else you gonna say? So Hart is playing at such a high level. They're probably gonna play him, in the starting lineup and have Deuce coming off the bench. Now, we got some of them good problems because you're gonna have Deuce, MitchRob, Clarkson, and Yabusele. But right now, I think right now we're in good shape. Right now, Deuce, Brunson, Mikal, Hart, and Cat. And then you got MitchRob, Clarkson, Yabusele, and Kolek. And Kolek is playing, he's holding his own. Kolek is doing very well. He's holding his own out here. So the other night he played 10 minutes, scored 5 points. He played good defense. He was +2. Clarkson was shooting, man. He was shooting but he wasn't hitting 2 of 13, 0 for 5 from 3, +9. But we know that's not going to last forever. And so he was +9. Kolek was +2. MitchRob was -4, and Yabusele was -4. But they did what they had to do. They did what they had to do to win this game. So this is a good. We got a good squad right now. We got a very good squad, but I think I'd be less than realistic if I told you anything but that Kolek's going to take a step back once Shamet gets back, because Shamet will either return to the starting lineup or he'll go to the bench, and so you're going to have probably either Shamet or Deuce starting at the 2. And then you're going to have Shamet or Deuce in the rotation for the bench. So you're going to have Mitchell Robinson, Clarkson, Yabusele, and either you're going to have Shamet or Deuce with them. Okay, that's what you're going to have. And then Kolek will, he'll be pushed back because, you got some players in front of him. So that's how we at right now. So we got them good problems, though, We really do. We got them good problems right now. The reason I think Hart starts is not because he's better than Deuce in the starting lineup, in my view. Hart plays better the more minutes he gets. Deuce needs minutes as well, but you can get a high level out of Deuce with 20 minutes. You may not get a high level out of Hart with 20 minutes, but you're going to get a high level out of Hart with 30 minutes. So you give him 30 minutes and you're going to get a high level of production from him. So he played 40 minutes against the Bucks. 40 minutes. Deuce played 33. Hart played 40. Deuce was +14. Hart was +15. And, that you're going to get that consistently from those 2 players. But OG is going to start, obviously. So when OG returns, he's starting. So you got to take one of them 2 guys out of the starting lineup. I think you could get production out of Deuce off the bench, which he could still get, 30, 25, 30 minutes off the bench, and you can get production from him. Um, so and I never bought into Hart's shooting being tied to his finger. He's had finger issues before, and it's never been a big problem. It never has, not with him. He shoots the ball very well, finger or not. And the thing is, it's not his finger, it's his hustle, right? His rebound and his hustle and his defense. What's up, David Byer? Yeah, so yeah, that's why we are we're very excited about what we have right now with this squad. Now, Porty is on the outside looking in. Of course, Tosan, Dadier, Trey, McCullough, all of them on the outside looking in. So those are your end of the bench pieces. In fact, it was McCullough just officially signed a two-way deal again, re-upped his two-way deal. And so it is what it is right there. We are too stacked. And we thought that in the summer, yo, we're just too stacked. This Knicks team is stacked, man. So it's hard for a rookie or a youngin to break in. Kolek, this is Kolek, what, second year? But you got to remember with Kolek, the Knicks paid him more money in a second round pick than anybody they ever paid as a second round pick. He got $6 million guaranteed money in the second round. So they're going to be patient with him. And obviously, the patience is paying off because he's really improved on the defensive end of the floor. I love his toughness. He's really showing his toughness right now. And of course, have always felt the boy will be able to shoot in the league eventually. He just needs to get used to the speed. And the other night, I saw he made a very heady cut to the basket. I forgot who passed the ball, but he was on ball weak side, ball on the other side, and he made a cut across, got the ball, hit the lefty layup. That was a heady cut right there. That was a beautiful play. Deuce actually set it up from the top of the key, and that was a beautiful play. And so that showed me the growth of Kolek and reading the defense and seeing what he needed to do to get a good shot, and he did it. So Kolek is growing. He is growing. I thought his ceiling was TJ McConnell. I still think his ceiling is TJ McConnell. He is learning the game. He is learning where to get his shots, where to get his spots. And, the Knicks got a good one again in the second round. When you're talking about second round, you got Kolek, you got Mitchell Robinson, you got Deuce. These are all second round picks. And let's not even mention Jalen Brunson was a second round pick. So the Knicks have good second rounders. Then they got Trey Jameson. They added him. You got Daddy as a first rounder, but Hoop Porty is another second rounder. The Knicks really did well building their team with these second round guys. Then of course you got the superstar Cat. I think Cat was number 1 overall. I think he was the first overall pick. So you got that. You need that balance. What I also liked, if y'all notice, the first half against the Bucks, I don't think Mikal Bridges scored until maybe the end of the first half. He had a 3 and a 2. What I like about that is, first of all, he was playing very high-level defense from the opening tip. Number 2, Mikal wasn't forcing anything. Mikal Bridges got, I think, how much did he score? I think he scored 14. Yeah, he scored 14, got 12 shots, and it was all in the flow. It wasn't like he was trying to force anything. So Mikal fitting right in as that plug-and-play piece we thought he was going to be when the Knicks acquired him. Why I wanted them to get him all along. He was going to be plug-and-play, and that's what he is right now. He's a plug-and-play piece. He doesn't force anything. He plays high-level defense. I think he had some blocked shots the other night, too. Let me see now. I think he had at least 2 blocked shots. Let me just look at it again. He had 1 block shot, but he's been blocking shots regularly also. So McCall ain't having it. He's really he's not having it, man. Glad all you guys are enjoying your holiday. A lot of people got to go back to work, like my wife tomorrow. But glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. So and Deuce is. I don't think it's realistic to expect Deuce McBride to shoot at this level. He's been shooting at this level for a week now. 5 of 7 the other night from 3. I mean, that's that's over 70% from 3. That's crazy. That's crazy. He took 8 shots, 7 of them was 3, and he hit 5 of them. Scored 19, 4 of 4 from the line. I always believed Deuce was going to be, a high 80% shooter from the line because he could do that. But that 3-point shot is amazing. He's knocking it down, man. He's very comfortable and he's knocking it down. And of course, he's playing elite defense. He's playing elite defense as he's been doing. So this is really good problems to have. I would not be surprised if when OG does return, and Shamet returns, I wouldn't be surprised if you see both of them come off the bench, or they started Deuce, but you're going to start Hart. You're going to start Hart. So that's the thing that changes everything. You're going to start Josh Hart. So when OG returns, he comes back to the front court. He plays the 4. Hart plays the 2. McCall plays the 3. And, of course, Cat plays the 5. And you're going to have right there between Hart, McCall, OG, you're going to have some lockdown defense, But the only issue I'm a little concerned with is and I'm just saying now, this is just me. I don't think Josh Hart is as good a perimeter defender as Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet are. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think Josh Hart is as good a perimeter defender because the Knicks are weak on the perimeter. Whenever Deuce or Shamet is not playing, they give up a ton of threes. So, and Josh is better playing against bigger guys, actually, than he is playing against guys his size and guys on the perimeter. So we'll see. We'll see. And that may help Brown determine what he does. Yeah, so defensively, Deuce and Shamet are better perimeter defenders than Josh Hart. Neither of them can rebound with Josh Hart, but then again, who can? Josh Hart's an elite rebounder, period, 6'4" and 9. And he can play some defense too, but he's just not as good a perimeter defender. Yes, against the Bucks. And this is what this dude, AJ Green, was like unconscious. He was unconscious. And they shot 44% from 3 because Green was 6 of 12 from 3. Giannis from 3-point range, he was 6 of 12. And Kuzma was 4 or 5. Kuzma was unconscious against the Knicks from 3 the other night. So, so we'll have to see. But it's like I said, these are them good problems. What did Marlo Stanfield say? He said, these are them sound like some good problems. That's what I'm saying. These are them good problems we got, so that's, we're going to be in good shape. They're now starting. Hello, Ms. Stevens. They're now starting to get acclimated to Brown's offensive system. Brown has found a rotation he's comfortable with right now. Obviously, as I mentioned, he's going to have to make some decisions. It's not so much with Shamet because you can interplay Shamet and Deuce. To me, they can plug either one of them in. It's Hart. You got to play Hart. So Hart's going to start. Yeah, I heard Kuzma whining after the game, but hey, you lost, man. It's over. Next game. You know what I'm saying? We lost. It's over. That's why I be telling some Knicks fans. They be still whining about stuff 3 days later. Listen, man. Next game. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Next game. Let's move on. Kyle Kuzma got to move on. Now, you know what the problem is in Milwaukee that right now is there's 2 problems. Well, all of the problems surround Giannis. If they keep losing, Doc Rivers is going to get fired. And if Doc Rivers gets fired, Giannis might want to leave. Y'all know that, right? I mean, he's in his prime. He ain't got but maybe 2 more prime years. So them good problems, sir. Bring you down, sir. Them good problems, But what I'm saying is that if they don't make a run, a good playoff run, and not only that, Milwaukee has made the playoffs, I think 6 straight years or some craziness like that. If they don't make a good playoff run this year, Giannis might be on his way out. Definitely Doc Rivers is going to be on his way out. So DeRozan is a bad move. This is the thing, y'all. If you got at the time you get to a DeMar DeRozan, you got to look at his career. And as great a talent as he is, he's never been a winning player. Toronto trades him to San Antonio and gets Kawhi in his place and goes to the finals. He goes to wherever he's been. He's been to the Clippers. Where else he's been? He's been all these. They don't win. He's not a player that's a player that makes everybody around him better. He's just not. Neither is Zach LaVine. People that be whining for the Knicks to go get these type of guys always drives me crazy because they don't pay attention to this. They're looking at NBA 2K ratings instead of looking at the player. DeRozan's a great talent, but he's not a winning player. He's not a guy that's going to help you get to chip. Neither is Zach LaVine is never going to win a championship as a starter. Maybe later in his career, he comes off somebody's bench as like a Jordan Clarkson, and maybe he could do it then, but he's not a winning player. The other night, he almost got in a fight with a fan because the fan told him to play some defense. And he got mad at the fan. And they walked the fan out for yelling at him, play some defense. Called him a bum for not playing defense, which the fan was right. But there's certain players you ain't going to win no chip with. DeRozan's one of them. For them to go get, to me, the Dame Dollar. See, look, looking back on it, right? Let me ask you all a question. Should they have tried their best to keep Jrue Holiday and forget Dame Dollar? What do y'all think? If you look back on it, should Milwaukee, after they won the championship now, should they have done their best to keep Jrue Holiday and not even worry about Dame Dollar? They shouldn't have did it, right? As it turns out, right? So there's, and this is the thing. I love Dame Dollar, but his best years are gone, and they ain't coming back. Okay, they ain't coming back. So he's gonna have some big games in the future, but they ain't winning nothing. Not with him. Not if you're focusing on building around him. You know, it ain't gonna happen. There's certain players that are winning players. Jrue Holiday is a winner. Look, he was a winner in New Orleans. They just couldn't get over the hump. He is a winner, a chip in Milwaukee, and he got a chip in Boston. They're just certain players that are winning players. Okay, they just make everybody around them better. They hit big time shots at big time moments. They play big time defense in big time moments. Jrue Holiday's one of them dudes, man. He is. Okay, now DeRozan, he's not. Neither is Zach LaVine. All the talent in the world, but nope. Look, Carmelo Anthony. Love Carmelo. I hope they retire his number. But he never made everybody around him better. That's why he never won a championship. He was a ball stopper and wasn't always good on defense. Wasn't even always giving effort on defense. Nope. Wasn't winning no chip. He went chip hunting all over the league. He went to Oklahoma City, and they suggested he come off the bench, and he laughed. Guess what? They lost. He went to Los Angeles Lakers. They lost. There's some dudes that just not championship dudes, man. Now, Carmelo was amazing at Syracuse. He had nobody on his team. He carried that team to the NCAA championship. But that is college. That is not the league. Okay? You could do that in college. If you're great enough, you could do that. Melo was. He was all that. His son ain't nothing like him. I love Kayan, whatever you want to call it, Kayan, whatever. But he wasn't Melo. He wasn't Melo. When Melo was a freshman in college, he was a bad man. Okay, he ain't have nothing to play with at Syracuse, and they won it all. He was a great player. But the league, it's a different animal, man. It's a different animal. Yeah, I mean, Cayenne, whatever. He balling at Syracuse, but he ain't his father. He coming off the bench. Listen, Melo never came off the bench for Syracuse. He ain't come off the bench for Syracuse. He didn't. His freshman year, they took the whole thing. Cayenne, he ain't gonna do that. You know, no. He coming off the bench for Syracuse, man. When I hear, but he ain't his father. He ain't his daddy. Of course, like Bronny ain't his daddy. And the younger boy, I thought the younger boy, the younger James boy that's playing at Arizona, I thought he would be better, the best of the LeBron's sons. But he's all right, but he's not LeBron. There's very few. Now, Kobe Bryant, I remember his father, Jelly Bean Bryant. Jelly Bean was a good NBA player, solid. But Kobe, Kobe was a whole different thing, man. Kobe was a whole different thing. Same with Rick Brunson. He was a fighter, a battler, a scrapper. Both he played for Don Chaney at Temple, and then he come into the league. He was fighting for his contracts all the time. But his son, as we can see, his son is on a different level. Okay. Yeah, Towns is a championship dude. Towns is. And the thing is that as you're watching him, he's learning that. Did you hear what he said the other night when he had, what was it, 39? And they said, you could have got more. And he said, why would I try to score 60 and lose the game? You know why? Because he did that in Minnesota. He would try to break records and get 50 and 60 and they'd be losing. So he has learned. He has learned. The other night, he scores 9 points. Look at this. He scored 9 points, right? And how many shots he took? That's the most important. Was he 2 of 50? No, he was 2 of 8. He only took 8 shots. Got 10 boards, okay? He wasn't on, but he played team basketball. That's why I say, yes, we could win a chip with Towns. We could win a chip with him, okay? So he has learned to play within the realm of the team, make everybody around him better, okay? So, yeah, Towns is a piece. We know MitchRob is a piece. I mean, any guy that's really doing his role at a high level, you got a championship piece. So McCall is plug and play, defensive forward, can guard 1 through 4. OG, we know, can guard 1 through 5, right? Brunson's been a winner in high school, been a winner in college, and I'm going to tell you, even though this is the league, he's going to be a winner here too. So Deuce is another one. Willing to give. Deuce will score 25 or 19 and then score 2 because he gave up the ball, because he was defense, because he was trying to play more defense or do whatever. These are championship pieces, man. So, yeah, but you see, if the stat heads, this is the thing about most of the stat heads. They looking at their little gambling parlays because they thought, I'm going to win because Cat surely going to score over 20, right? They lost. And then they looking at stats instead of watching the actual game. If you watch the game, Cat was very important in that game. Very important. Key rebounds at key moments when we needed a board, he got it. Now he only had 10 for the game, but the ones he got. Okay, when we needed them. So those are winning plays, and you get winning plays from winning players. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Towns don't get no respect, but a lot of the times, because like I said, Towns is a bully. And a guy that's 7 feet, 270 or whatever he is, you want him to be a bully. That's what you want in that position. That's why sometimes people talk about, I wish he was more aggressive. I don't understand that. Towns is a bully. Ask Alex Sarr. Ask Alex Sarr in Washington Wizards when Towns backed him down and then flushed it on. Towns is a bully. He is. But, and sometimes when somebody try to bully him back, he gets mad. That's when he gets in foul trouble. He gets mad and he starts doing really stupid stuff. That's when he gets in foul trouble, right? But he really is a bully, and you want him to be a bully. And then he be yelling at the ref's foul every time he shoots, right? So that's why he don't get the respect that he probably should get as a superstar in the league. But you want him to be a bully. What big man? Everybody that has a big man, you want that big man to be a bully. You want him to destroy anybody weaker than him, right? That's what you want. That's what you want. And so Towns is a bully. We want him to be a bully. You know who else was a bully? Juju was a bully. Juju put his bow in somebody's mouth, act like it was accidental, right? I mean, right? Juju will go, see a problem child. Sometimes he start tripping out, and you can't get him on. You got to rein him in, bring him on the side for a little bit. But Juju was a bully, okay? Back in the day, they had another name for bullies. They called them enforcers, right? I don't know if you remember that, but I used to call them enforcers. These are the guys that's bullies. And what that means is they just going, if you act weak, they're going to act like you in jail and they're going to turn you out. You know what I'm saying? If you act weak, they're going to turn you out. So we got Cat is a bully. OG is a bully, which is why we know OG got the grown-ass man game. Did you really? I don't know about giving up on Juju. I don't know about that. Unless they can get something better, which I don't know about that. And don't tell me it's Anthony Davis. What, you gonna give up on Juju? 6'8", 260 pounds, like a brick doodle house for what? Anthony Ambulance? I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Don't pay attention to all the media when they talk that crap, because media is about they only into what have you done for me last night. You know what I'm saying? And they'll judge a whole dude based on what he did last night, whether it's good or bad. But yeah, Oakley was an enforcer. Okay, Oakley was an enforcer. You know what I'm saying? But Cat is a bully. Today the term is bully. Cat's a bully. OG's a bully. And you need a couple of those on your team. You want some bullies on your team. Jameson's a bully. Trey Jameson, he's a bully. And you want that. That's what you want out of your big man. You want a bully. Okay? Oh, that's exactly. Yeah, Cat ain't soft now. He a bully, So the thing about Cat is he's such a great shooter, and he is legitimately a great shooter. He relies on that too much, but I think Brown is helping him with that. Brown is reining him in a little bit, and that's good news. So if Cat ain't taking as many threes, if he don't have it, he's not taking it. But Cat, let me look at this here just to make sure I'm not lying to you, but I'm pretty sure he's over a 40% three-point shooter. Let me just see. Cat is shooting from three. What is he shooting, man? Ooh, they got him at 33% from three, so he ain't hitting as much from three. He's not, this year, he's not balling from three like he was before. He's not doing it. So Cat's shooting, but he ain't shooting as many threes either, but he ain't hitting them either. Cat is 33% from three. McBride, let's see. McBride is 43% from three. Shamet 42% from three. Bridges 41. OG 39. Brunson 38% from three. Hart 36% from three. So we got some boy, but Cat ain't been hitting from three. Maybe that's why he ain't shooting them, but he ain't forcing no threes up like he was in the beginning of the season. Okay. Yeah. So it's gonna be good. Ant-Man ain't the leader that Brunson is. Ant-Man got more talent than Brunson. That's saying something, because Ant-Man's a talented boy. He's a bad boy, but he ain't the leader that Brunson is. Brunson's a cerebral, intelligent IQ player. And sometimes his pride gets in the way, as we know. He can ball hog a little bit. He does. He had the ball hog gene. But you want a leader. You want a guy that's going to lead your team and get them under control, like he told Cat and OG to calm down. He told Cat to shut up last year when Cat was whining and wasn't playing no defense, and OG was getting in his ass. He calmed the whole thing down. That's what you want. We got listen, y'all. We got a team. This ain't no BS. We got a team. We got a team. They could take the East. The Knicks could. I've been saying that, right? The Knicks could take the East. I ain't been flowing with this ebb and flow of the BS on X. The Knicks could take the East. I don't want to hear it. The Knicks could take the East. I'm not trying to hear nothing else. They can't. Now, you need some bouncers to go your way to do it. But they could take the East. They really can. There's no team that I like so much stronger in the East than the Knicks. The Knicks could take the East. Okay. So last game against the Bucks. Did y'all see that game? I'm watching this game. Brunson was. I was like, damn, what, Brunson, I was like, I would try to guard him. What? Please. That boy was amazing. He was amazing. What was he against the Bucks? Brunson was 12 of 21, 4 of 6 from 3, 9 of 10 from the line, plus 10, 37 points, 5 assists. Let me tell you something. We got a team, though. We got a team. Anybody that's advocating for the Knicks to try to get Anthony Davis is a damn fool. A damn fool. Straight up. Ain't no need for us to be looking for no damn Anthony ambulance right now. No. We got a team. We just need to ride this horse, man. Just need to ride this horse. That's all we need to do. And hope everybody stay healthy. So we got the good news is Shamet is going to be back sooner than later. OG, He's going to be back sooner than later. Hopefully, he not only rests the hammy, but hopefully, the whole body is rested up, so he's ready to come back and play at a high level. We got a team. Really, we do. We got a team. Yeah, I mean, anybody, Stephen A. Stupid was yelling about the Knicks trying to get AD. I'm like, why is this dude got to be a dumbass? I guess they pay him to do that. But damn, man, what the hell's wrong with you? What you going to trade off the Knicks to go get Anthony Ambulance? What's wrong with y'all? I don't know. Yeah, I think so, Jay Sniper. I'm thinking we get him back for at least the Friday game against Utah. I think we get OG back. I'm hoping maybe even Wednesday against Charlotte. The Charlotte game would be a good game for him to come back. It would be. I'm not trying to disrespect Charlotte, but that's a good game for OG to get right, come back and get right. Yeah. When I see that, I'd be like, this clown, man, please. Yeah. They're going JB's a damn straight assassin, man. Especially you mess around, get him in the fourth quarter, and he's within 10. Y'all with the Knicks are within 10. Yeah, he can get that. He can bring that back, man. Shoot. Yeah. So, yeah, he can get that back. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, anyway, we got us a squad. I love this team. In the summer, I was advocating for MitchRob to come off the bench. A lot of y'all was tripping because, we got to start Mitch. I was like, I don't know, because MitchRob off the bench, you preserve him. Remember I was telling you that? You preserve him, and he becomes more effective in the limited minutes. You get MitchRob, Clarkson, Yabo, and Kolek. That's not even our best bench. When you replace Kolek with either Deuce or Shaman, shit, you're going to have something, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, you're going to have something. You're going to have something, man. So, I had the Knicks at 55. I'm going to stick with that. I got the Knicks at 55 wins this year. At the beginning of the year, I said 55. I'm going to stick with that. I don't think I've not adjusted that, and I don't think I will. I got them at 55. 55 plus on the upside. Yeah. So I'm sticking with that. Yeah. Yep. Kolek is in the rotation. It's just that he got good players ahead of him. So Kolek is behind Deuce and Brunson. And he's going to remain behind Deuce and Brunson as he should. But when Shamet is out, as you see now, Kolek moves into the rotation, and we really ain't losing a lot when Tyler Kolek comes into the rotation. So I think, we're in good shape there. Yeah, I think Jay Sniper, Stephen A. Stupid claims to be a Knick fan to get media attention, to get more clicks. And then when you tune into him, he says some of the dumbest things you've ever heard anybody say, on broadcasting. He said he is just about as dumb as a brick, a box of rocks when it comes to actual knowledge of basketball. But so Gorilla Jake's asked, are you saying RJ's out today? Is he officially out? Let me look at this. Let me see now. Let me take a look. Is RJ officially out today? Let's take a look at this. RJ injuries. So let's see. Let's look at the Toronto. RJ Barrett is out. Right knee. No structural damage, but that was from Wednesday. I haven't heard about him being out today. Have you, Gorilla Jakes? Maybe you got information I don't have, but I'm looking at BSPN and they have him. He had no structural damage to his knee last Wednesday. So I don't know if he's playing or not. Let me look at NBA.com and see what they got. With this, let's see here. Let's take a look-see at the game today. So the Knicks against Toronto, the preview of the game. Let's take a look here. I am looking at, they're not showing anything here. They're not showing anything. Yeah, they're not showing anything as far as RJ being able or not able to play. They're not showing anything. But quickly, you all know. Oh, it's a back. Is that what you're saying, Lonnie? Okay, so Lonnie is saying because it's a back to back. Oh, that makes sense. So they played last night. Toronto played last night, and because they played last night, RJ won't play today. That makes sense. That does make sense because yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense that he won't play tonight because it's a back to back. So yeah, they're gonna even because he did have a knee issue earlier this week. They'll probably rest the knee tonight, and so yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. And they just lost too, so yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, the assumption we're making an assumption, Jay Sniper. We haven't gotten any official news. Our assumption is that because Toronto just played last night, that and RJ did have a knee injury earlier that wasn't as serious. You know, there was no structural damages where they put it to his knee. So but it's a back to back off a knee injury. He probably doesn't play tonight. They lost in overtime to Charlotte last night, 118, 111. So he probably doesn't play tonight. Last night, let's take a look at the box score for the Charlotte game last night. Charlotte against Charlotte last night, Scotty Barnes had 30, Ingram 22, IQ 22, yeah, Podol 8, Walter 5. Let's see what they did on the boards. They got 52 rebounds last night. They out rebounded Charlotte big time. Still lose the game though. Charlotte had 9 turnovers. Toronto had 15 turnovers. A lot of turnovers for the Raptors last night. So they got a lot of turnovers. The Raptors shot 31% from 3. Charlotte only shot 26% from 3. So it looked like the turnovers did the Raptors in last night. Andrew Abraham Hart will start. And the reason is, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned it before you got in, but and I'm not saying Hart is better than Deuce as a starter. What I am saying though is that Deuce can perform at a high level with 20 minutes of action. Hart performs at a high level with more than 25. Hart doesn't always perform at a high level with limited minutes. Deuce can. So because of that, if you can get high level performance from Deuce, giving him 25 minutes off the bench and start Hart and pay him 30 minutes, you're probably going to get more production that way. So Hart is better. The more minutes he plays, the better he gets. That's just how he is. And he's, of course, at his best in the fourth quarter. So, yeah. Toronto just come out of Charlotte from last night playing overtime. I wouldn't sleep on them, though. You still got IQ. One of these games, I'm going to tell you something. Emmanuel quickly going to drop 50 on somebody. He is. He's quite capable of doing that. Emmanuel quickly going to drop 50 on somebody one night. He is going to do that. It's just a matter of time. I just don't want it to be against us. And you know they coming into MSG. That wakes everybody up. That's smelling salts for every opponent that plays the Knicks. MSG is smelling salts. Whatever tide they are, they come out the ball at MSG. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Got it. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Hart is going to be starting. They're going to start him. That doesn't mean Deuce ain't going to play heavy minutes. He is. What I like, though, listen, when OG comes back, you got an opportunity to start Hart, right? And you can take OG out when he's rested and put Deuce in, Shamet and Deuce. You can have a closing lineup with Deuce in it if OG's in foul trouble. You got some good problems if you're the Knicks, right? You got some good problems, man. So, I am not sold a JG10RKN. I am also not sold on the Raptors as a long-term viable winner this year. Not long-term in terms of future years, but right now, I'm not sold on Brandon Ingram being consistently available. That's the problem I have. I'm not sold on Brandon Ingram being consistently available. If he is, okay, they're going to be good, but I'm not sold on that. Plus, Toronto, to me, needs a solid guy. They got Jacob Poeltl at the center, but I think they need really another center that's more solid, that they can get somebody that's going to be somebody solid they can play at the 5. Yeah, so we'll see. But we can't sleep on Shalom Organic for that. We can't sleep on Toronto. We got to get this dub today. We got to get this dub. So yeah, they reeling a little bit, Track Monkey. I think it's the adjustment without having RJ in your lineup. That's going to take an adjustment because RJ is a major player for them. Let me just see here. RJ Barrett. Where is he at? I think he plays, right. I think RJ plays, 30 minutes a game at least, right? Let me see here. Let me see. RJ Barrett plays 31 minutes a game. He's a major player for them. He plays 31 minutes a game, averages 19 a game. You can't just lose that and, keep going. I mean, that's hard. That's hard. So they need Emmanuel Quickly to step up. I expect Quick to shoot the ball more today just to try to make up for the absence of RJ. Quick has shot the ball pretty well. He shoots 37% from 3. Like I said, Quick gonna drop 50 on somebody. I just hope it's not us. Quick gonna drop 50 on somebody. He's that good. I always respected his talent. I have to admit, I like Maxey better, but that ain't no slight on Quick. Quick is a starter in the league. He could drop 50 on somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. Yeah, that's right. They're missing 19 points from RJ. That's a big loss. You can't just. That's hard to just make up like that. Especially they don't have the bench that the Knicks have. They got a decent bench, but they don't got the bench that the Knicks have. They really don't. They got a good bench. You're looking at Grady Dick is a good piece coming off the bench. He could start too, and you might be able to make it up with Grady Dick, because Grady Dick can shoot the ball. And then you got Okai Agbaji, another guy I liked. I think he was coming out of Kansas. I liked him coming out of Kansas. So they got a pretty good bench. And then Mogbo, that's the guy I think might be the center of the future for them. Mogbo, Jonathan Mogbo. But we'll see. Yeah, glad to see you, my man. So, yeah. So I'm saying Quick is capable, man. He might go off and knock down 5, 10 threes. That's how good he is, man. So we got to be up on it. Yeah, so Brandon Ingram. I don't know. I think Ingram's the reason they're playing so well, because I wasn't expecting Ingram. Ingram has played 20 games out of 20 games. He's playing 34 minutes a game, averaging 22 points a game, 6 boards, 4 assists. Ingram is balling. Now, from 3, he's only shooting 31% from 3. So he's a guy you want to make shoot your 3. Scotty Barnes is shooting 40% from 3. See, so you want Ingram shooting 3s. I won't be surprised if the Knicks set it up that way. You think he's gonna draw the deuce card, Andrew Abraham? I hope he does. I hope he does draw the deuce card. Yeah. So they got a big hole to fill with Barrett missing though. So Grady Dick could fill that hole. He really can. He's a good shooter. Grady Dick's a good shooter. So we'll see. This is going to be interesting night. And and I know that when teams come to MSG, they get hyped to play the Knicks. They get hyped to play the Knicks at MSG. You know what I mean? So yeah, I know. BI is in the Ambulance University, but he's been healthy this year. 20 games he has played. He about this time usually he'd be missing games, but BI has played 20 out of 20, man. I'm thinking it must be a contract year, because I never seen BI be so available. Since he come out of Duke, he's been available. He's not been available consistently. Let me just see. I want to take a look. Let me just take a look at this thing, because I'm surprised he has been very available this year. I'm just going to see if is he in a contract year? Because this dude, let me see, Brandon Ingram. Nope, he's not a contract year. He got 38 million this year, 40 next year, 41.9 in year 3. So he ain't even in a contract year. He's just balling. He's just balling, man. Yeah. I hope you're right, Michael Drake. If Cat get 40 in the flow, the Knicks are tough to beat. If Cat get 40 in the flow. Is that who he's seeing? He messing around with Glorilla? Is that what it is? He messing around with Glorilla, whatever. Oh man. We'll see. We're gonna see what happened tonight. The Knicks got many weapons. Don't sleep on nobody. Deuce, JB, the Road Runner, Cat. Don't mess around. Hart, Clarkson. Hey, Clarkson, what y'all think? Clarkson's due to break out. He was 2 of 13 the other night. Let 2 nights before that, the last 2 games, he's been kind of, the rest been messing him up. I think Jordan Clarkson is due to bust out today. Let's see. I think he's due to bust out. Yeah, we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens, man. So let me get ready. I'm going to get me a workout in and try to get ready for the game at 6, get myself prepared. I got everything. I got me a roast cooking, slow cooking in a crock pot. Let me see if I can get that in. My wife's going out window shopping today. Let her get some time after she worked so hard this week getting all the food ready for us. You know. I think it's a great collaboration, Andrew Abraham. I think it's really good collaboration between the coach, the staff, and the front office. I think that's one of the reasons they hired Coach Brown, because he's a collaborator. Mine was real good, Jay Sniper. I had brethren here. I had friends here. I had family here. We had a good time. It was really good time. Mine was really good, Jay. How was yours? I hope yours was good too. I had a good time, man. My son-in-law, my daughter was here. In-laws was here. We had a good time. My wife made a turkey. She had made turkeys, candied yams. I didn't have any candied yams, but she had turkey. Then one of the guests brought some beef patties. And then somebody bought some macaroni and cheese. Somebody bought some smoked turkey. So we had all of that. And then, of course, we had chocolate and blackberry Crown Royal whiskey. So we had the chocolate and the blackberry. We made some nice cocktails with that. We had we had chocolate wine, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir. We had all of that. We had a big thing of ice. Everybody was enjoying. It was good, man. We had a good time. We had a real good time. Yeah, Thanksgiving Hempstead was classic. Okay, probably smelling turkey in the air everywhere in Hempstead. My wife don't eat rice. I don't eat rice. She got allergic reaction, so she made what she made. She makes rice out of cauliflower. She makes cauliflower rice. So she makes it look just like rice too. My wife could cook, man. So she made cauliflower rice, and I had mostly protein. I had the turkey. I had one of the beef patties, and I had a little stuffing to go with it. Yeah. So it was all good. We had a good time. Really did. The wine was flowing. I hardly watched football. We watched 2 games. Well, we watched all 3 games. We watched all 3 games. Nah, McButt ain't stopped by. No, we watched all 3 football games: the Lions game, the Cowboys game, and who else? I forgot the other game. Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, we saw all 3 of them. I hardly watch football, but my guests were into football, so we watched the football game. Yeah, cauliflower rice. She made cauliflower rice. Yeah, I'm trying to limit the carbs, so I cheat. I had a cheat week. We went out Wednesday with my daughter, my son-in-law. I had some gelato, pistachio gelato. I had a burger, double burger. I had some wings. That was my cheat meal. The cheat meal for me is the white bread on the burger. That's my cheat meal. Then on Thursday, I had a little bit of stuffing. I had the beef patty, which is, cased in bread. So that was another cheat day. So I'm just recovering from my cheat days. I stick with the protein usually, but those cheat days. Second half of the season, who's the Knicks' biggest comp in the East? Let me take a look at the East again. Let's take a look. In the East, I'm looking at Miami, Orlando. I think Orlando's going to make a run. Philly, Detroit, Orlando, Philly. I'm not worried about Cleveland. I ain't worried about Cleveland. Don't sleep on Miami. Don't sleep on the Leprechaun in them. And watch Philly too. Philly's going to be coming. Philly, Orlando, Miami, Detroit. Those are the biggest. I don't think the Raptors are there for the long term. I'm not buying into Boston, Chicago, Milwaukee. No. And I'm not worried about Cleveland either. But the Knicks is going to have comp with Detroit. Detroit is our biggest opponent. Detroit, that daggone Bickerstaff got them balling. JB got them balling, man. They playing defense. And daggone Thompson boy is taking his whole game. What he say? He cleaned his whole act up. Another surprise. He done cleaned his whole act up. That Thompson boy, man. He's another real deal Holyfield, man. Orlando's going to be there too. I'm not going to say Orlando's not, because Orlando got talent. They're going to be there. And especially Orlando beat our ass twice. So we got to prove we could beat Orlando. But, so yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit and Orlando. If I had to pick two now, I'm going to go with Detroit and Orlando. But you could never sleep on Miami. Don't ever sleep on Miami. Yeah, Chimson Charles said he done cleaned his whole act up. So the Townsend boy done cleaned his whole act up. Yeah, man. Hey, all right, Mike Mika, I hear you, but I'm not sleeping on Detroit's bench though. No, look here. Detroit ain't, if we better than them in the bench, it's negligible. Because you talking about LeVert, Ivy, Javonte Green, Ron Holland, and Beef Stew. That's a hell of a bench right there. So, yeah, Orlando done beat our ass twice. So we got to prove we could beat them. We got them again next Sunday, right? We got Orlando next Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. We got Orlando again next Sunday. So we got to prove we could beat their ass. But they had our number, man. They done beat our ass twice, and they made it look easy. Damn, Anthony Black had career years against us, man, twice. So we got to prove we could beat their ass. We got one more shot at it next week, Sunday. I'm gonna be on the plane headed to Colombia, Medellin, man. I'm going to Medellin next Sunday. I may miss the game, but I'm gonna watch the replay. Yeah, so Clint Stewart, I'll be honest. I ain't worried about Cleveland. I ain't. Look. Donovan Mitchell was on a championship level team in Utah, didn't get it done. They got Mobley, Allen, Garland in Cleveland not getting it done. I don't think. Let me ask you a question. Though. Cleveland hasn't even been in the Eastern Conference Finals since they got Donovan Mitchell. Am I wrong about that? Right? I mean, they haven't even been in the Eastern Conference Finals since they got Donovan Mitchell. And everybody was trying to trade the whole team to get damn Donovan Mitchell. For what? You better show he can get out the second round. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, nah, I'm not worried about Cleveland. Cleveland better worry about us. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I ain't worried about them. They ain't. But Detroit ain't playing. Detroit will smash you in the mouth. Y'all think I'm lying, right? Detroit will smash you in the mouth. And so will Orlando. Orlando done already beat our ass. We done took our lunch money twice. We gotta prove we got some nuts on us. We gotta prove we got some nuts on us because Orlando they doing us with no Vaseline. Shoot, they doing us with no Vaseline. Orlando abusing us. See, so we got to prove we could beat their ass. So we got another shot at it next Sunday. Gotta see what happens. What time am I flying out? Maybe I could watch the game before I go. But we flying out next Sunday, man. I'm not trying to hear that. We got to be. I'll be honest. I believe in my team, but we got to prove we could beat Orlando. They beating our ass. I'm not even. We can't. We got to take their lunch money back. We got to take their lunch money back. They've been abusing us. When we get in that cell block with them, we got to show them we the man up in this piece. We got to show them. Yeah, we got to beat them. Got to beat them. Now, last year, Cleveland was beating our ass, but I wasn't worried about Cleveland. Boston was beating our ass during the season, if you all recall. I wasn't worried about Boston either. Because you know why? In the league, the playoffs is a whole different thing. You understand what I'm saying? In the playoffs, you dealing with a whole different animal in the playoffs now. The Knicks showed Boston that they still wondering how they lost that series. Because you know why? Because they was thinking because of the season they beat us. But when it came to the playoffs, Brunson and them beat their ass. Whether Tatum happened to get hurt, but Tatum wasn't going to change the outcome. They were going to beat their ass. Malik, you're right. They're going to roughneck Desmond Bane. He is a damn roughneck, isn't he? He's a damn bully. Desmond Bane is one of the biggest bullies this side of Dylan Brooks in the backcourt in the league. He's a damn bully. He is. There's no doubt about it. Little roughneck. But you know what? And Brunson can't be letting it get personal. You shouldn't take it personal. That's a more Sopranos reference. Don't take it personal. Make it a team game. Yeah, it was over before Tatum got hurt. Tatum wasn't going to change anything. They were going to get their ass beat anyway. So what we beat them in 6 games, it was going to be over. It's like what happened with the Knicks against Indiana. As soon as the Knicks came back twice against Boston, we was going to win that series. Just like we lost 2 games to the Pacers, right? They were going to win that series, period. They were going to win that series. So, Bane is a legit tough guy, though, Guilford. I got to give it to him. He's legit. He's a legit little freaking roughneck. There's no doubt. Yeah, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Yeah, so, but the Pacers is out the picture this year. They probably make a run second half of the season, but they're out the picture this year. But, yeah, man, I was saying, Harry Patterson, listen. The Knicks can beat anybody in the East, man. The Knicks can come out the East. Don't even doubt that. The Knicks can beat anybody in the East. They could take the East. Oh, man, I liked Bane coming out of TCU. If anybody has been watching my channel a while, I was advocating for the Knicks to get Bane when he was coming out of TCU. I knew he was going to be a player. I was like, that boy, we need to get Desmond Bane. Instead, I think they took IQ that year. And I was like, man, I had Bane first. If they could get Maxey, I had Maxey. I didn't even have IQ on my radar. To me, there were too many other players that were better than him. So I liked him at Kentucky, but I thought Maxey was the dude, but they went and got IQ, whatever. But I wanted Bane that year. I was like, man, let's get Desmond Bane, man. Shoot. I knew he could ball. He was a roughneck at TCU, and I knew it was going to carry over to the league. When you could play rough like that and you could shoot like he can, I knew he was going to be a player. So, and then they got the nerve to put him with Ja. Now they got him with Franz Wagner and them. They rough, man. Orlando is rough. That was a good move they made to go get Bane. That was a smart behind move. And Jamal Mosley knows how to coach a basketball team in the league. So this is not going to be easy. But we need to beat their ass next week Sunday. There's no doubt about it. So we got to prove. We got to prove to them. Listen, come in the cell with me and let me victimize you now. Let's do that. See? So we're gonna see. You're gonna see what happens. Especially with this new starting lineup. I don't think Anthony Black gonna be able to go off like that. Anthony Black was the difference maker in both games against the Knicks. Y'all play that, right? Anthony Black was the difference maker. Dude out of Calipari's, Arkansas. He can ball. He was the difference maker. Anthony Black been on a tear. That young boy been playing. But with this new lineup we got, I want to see what happens. I want to see how this works out. I have, Oh, you getting some oxtails, Malik? Do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right. So anyway, I want y'all to please be safe. Enjoy the game tonight. Got it. Don't take for granted the Toronto Raptors. They can beat us, but we gotta take it to them. Get this dub. Nobody get hurt. I want to hear the news about OG. I don't expect him to play today, but I want to hear when he'll be ready. I want to say that they evaluated him and he's day to day. That'll be good. So I think he'll be ready for either Wednesday against Charlotte or Friday against Utah. Yeah, man. Next week, Sunday, we headed out to Medellin, Colombia. Yeah. So we're going to be enjoying a little Colombia, Medellin when we go out there. Me and my baby, we're going to be in there living nice in Medellin for a minute. But in the meantime, y'all please be safe. Enjoy the game. Enjoy your life. Don't take it for granted. Don't get nobody fight, okay? Back up. Sure.